Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, is the man who insisted our coverage of Reacher Season 2 in this episode be called The Reacher Round, Mr. Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, buddy. Glad to be on the mics tonight.
Yeah, sorry to everybody for, not being on last week. That is mostly my fault, all my fault. I forget the exact division there. Life happens. Prior commitments, apologies, all that jive. But glad to be back. As usual, watched a ton of stuff, so you guys won't be bored. At least in this episode, we will be covering Reacher Season 2 up top, but we also will have a good solid six-pack, a chunk of streaming movies to kind of cover and give our thumbs up, thumbs down on those as well. But let's start right up top, man. Like, we were anticipating this big time between the trailer, loving the first season. Reacher Season 2 is finally upon us right at that nice time of year where I can use another show. Did you feel that absence, like you needed something? Like,
yes.
where we have a couple, we're going to probably talk about the end of Fargo and Monarch as we get into the new year. But I know I'm losing a show with a Murder at the End of the World. And especially a show like this, Shane, we just needed like a palate cleanser. You know what I mean? I don't need a heavy drama. I don't need a mystery. I just need someone punching through a windshield and choking some dude out. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I need the same thing, man.
Yeah. If anybody understands that, it's you. I was telling somebody when I said what we were covering this week, they were like, "Oh, this is a Shane episode." I'm like, "Nah, man. This is the Venn diagram. This is where Shane and I meet."
Yes.
Senseless violence with giant human beings. So that's what we do. So Shane, give it to me straight, man. Now that you're actually ahead of me because
I am.
I had the experience, and this is my ignorance, I guess. I won I got like an invite through my email to go to an Amazon Prime event for Reacher Season 2, but it was the first 2 episodes, and I thought that was all they dropped. Shocked me today to find out that it was 3, so you're a little ahead of me on the game. But just real quick before we get into the review and your thoughts, of course, I want to say the experience was fun. They gave us a free little, what do you call it, carabiner, like those type of things you hook onto your keys that says Reacher on it. Obviously we got to see the first 2 episodes ahead of time. I did it a couple days before the premiere, and the crowd was into it. I was very interested in what kind of crowd this was going to attract. What is the Reacher audience? It skewed a little older. And I was surprised, but I shouldn't be, Shane, that there was a lot of hooting and hollering ladies in there just, beaming at the sight of our man, Alan Richmond. So, yeah, that probably doesn't shock you, right?
No, he's a mountain of a man, man. He's like built out of fucking granite.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alan Richmond, I don't know, man. He gets bigger every time I see him on screen. And obviously the big screen just adds to the effect. But it seemed like from the reaction of the audience and my own, I feel like, what was your remembrance of Season 1? Because the reason why I bring that up is because I feel like Season 1 started out a little slower too. Like it didn't get kind of like more humorous and like a little more fun and upbeat and faster. It got faster as the season went along. Do you remember that?
Yeah. From what I remember, like the first episode came out swinging. You're right. It gave you the action right off the bat, and then once he got to the town, it kind of slowed down a little bit until like he started to uncover stuff. Yeah, so it came out the punch, and then it kind of died down, and then it kind of built back up. Is from what I remember Season 1 being.
Yeah, I remember something pretty similar, but I also feel like they just set a tone so much earlier, and there was something about the small town thing that it's just a different type of vibe, especially with that like one cell prison that the one man drunk tank, whatever type of setup they have. And it's interesting with this one because it's so much more polished and so much more serious it seems, right up front, that this one seems to take a much different tact. And that's what I think I kind of felt from my own feelings as well as the audience, that it was like, first episode, serious, setting things up, getting the band together. Episode 2, much more of like, okay, now that we have the team, we can kind of play a little looser. And then that's where it gets a little more fun. And obviously you could speak to episode 3, but is that kind of where you saw it going to?
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, so what are your general impressions then? Like, so that's how I felt. You know, it's a much different tone to start, but I think they're finding their footing again.
Yeah, it's definitely like a bigger world we're playing in now.
Correct.
Obviously, being in the New York City and in Jersey and Atlantic City and all that stuff. But I will say, I know I'm only 3 episodes in, but man, I'm digging this season, I guess because I like the team aspect a little bit more. And we get to know a little bit more about his military career and how he put his team together and how cohesive they were, which I loved all the flashback scenes they were doing with that. And I'm telling you, I just like the team dynamic. So far, I'm enjoying this season a little bit more than I did the first season. Because the first season, again, it was just kind of him, right? But now we're kind of learning more about his background plus his team. So I like that aspect. I like the ensemble cast, I do. But he's still front and center with this show. I mean, you can't help it.
Right.
And it does hit you with action right off the bat, like the opening scene with him in the small town, with the ATM machine and all that stuff. I love that. I forgot the actor's name, but the detective we run into, I like that whole scene where he like deploys the guy's ear back. So, I mean.
So that's episode 3, though, right? That's where I'm in the lurch here.
I thought that was 2. It could have been 3. I thought that was episode 2. So maybe it was 3.
2 kind of ends when they're in Atlantic City and they take out those dudes who are trying to find them. And they're working with the head of security, but no detective, so to speak. Unless you're talking about the one who was kind of like following them to the house.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Well, they just destroyed that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the guy I'm talking about.
Okay.
But no, the action pieces are great. I like the O'Donnell character. He's probably my favorite secondary character. The guy with the brass knucks and the knife.
Yeah.
That helps him along. I like that character a lot.
Yeah.
But this is a show like this right up my alley, man. This is a show that makes my pants explode. There's no other way about it. Like this guy, I want to see him in more action films and not like the John Cena type of action films. I want to see him in like heavier action stuff because I think he could pull it off.
Right.
Like this guy is one of my favorites, man. Like, and he's still a relatively unknown because people are like, oh, what's he been in? I'm like, well, he was Hawk in the Titans show for a little bit. And then he played Raphael in that Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie, but that's
unfortunately he was in Fast X, that poor bastard. But I did feel like he didn't have much to do, but it was nice to see him.
That's right, he was in there. I totally forgot about that. Good call.
Yeah,
I'm loving the Reacher so far, and and it makes me look forward to Fridays now, man. Like I go back and forth because this is Amazon kind of pissed me off because the first season of Reacher, if you remember, they dropped the whole series at one time. Boom, all 8 episodes.
Right.
And then I was kind of pissed that they were I didn't know they were dropping them weekly. I'm like, well, they know they got a hit on their hands. So now they're just going to like slow play it now. So it's all good. I got something to look forward to on Friday. But so far, so good, man.
Yeah, same. It is nice to have at least a familiar face come back with Maria Sten's character, Frances, that, was from last season where she came in towards the tail end of that season to help, right? And then Serinda Swan is gorgeous. I love how they got to that real quick.
Oh, God. Yep.
So, and then, I don't know if casting is term spoiler, but, cool to see Robert Patrick back. Even, he was in, he looks brutal, if that's what you're oofing about. But he was just in Peacemaker, obviously, and now it's cool to see him in yet another project that we like. So that's cool. But yeah, we'll see where this goes. I don't know a ton. I don't know how much they get in episode 3, but I'm liking it so far. I liked the team aspect of them getting kind of clipped off and figuring it out and kind of making it more of a mystery. Last season was a little more aggressive and small townish, obviously, and it's definitely a much different thing. I'm not saying I like this season more yet. I'm still waiting, I guess, to see kind of exactly where it goes, but I'm definitely in. It's exactly what I wanted, and the more that it plays more fast and loose, the more I like it. So I'm just hoping it doesn't get too up its own ass for a show that they should know what they have here. Because even though I know they're going off the books and everything, I don't know how strict they are to the books, and we'll see how that goes. Because people have in the past, Tom Cruise tried to make a stab at this and got it kind of a little off base, a little bit different. Plus, he is very different. This, we've spoken about this before, where this is the type of Reacher I want. So, but we'll see. I'm in. I'm very encouraged by the start, and like I said, kudos to Amazon Prime for having us at a Cinemark and doing the theatrical experience. That was pretty cool, man. I gotta admit, to do that. Plus, they gave us like free popcorn and soda. They know how to treat a girl. You know what I'm saying? I felt very lucky to be there and had all my stuff. So that was good, man. I appreciate it. So now that we're past the Reacher point and we have a lot of films to cover here, I had another excursion besides the movie theater experience with Reacher, where I went to go see the new Zack Snyder movie, Rebel Moon. Now, my full review for what's on Netflix.com will be coming out on Friday when the movie comes out, but you've obviously seen the early reviews on it, and I think to summarize our interaction, you said, "Hey, man, saw the reviews. I know you're on your way there. Sorry, man. I saw it's 24% Rotten Tomatoes." And I was like, "Oh, it went up." Because when I saw it, it said 14. And I'm like taking the train into the city to try to go see this thing and spend all this time. And I'm like, damn, Zack Snyder, you bastard. Now, I don't know your feelings on Snyder. Like, I'm fine with him. Like, he's kind of hit or miss. I liked him more early on than as his career's advanced. But where do you sit with Snyder?
Yeah, I'm hit or miss with Snyder. I like the old Snyder, but no matter what with Snyder, visually you're going to get something. I like him more than I hate him, if that makes any kind of sense. So like the 24% does not scare me off.
Right.
Because with him, I think it's going to be not a lot of substance, but a lot of sugar around it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
So, and that's okay. Like, I like movies like that. It's fine. We'll see. Like, but again, I'm more up than I am down with Zack Snyder.
Well, I'm here to tell you, Shane, this movie's not going to help. This is definitely a down for me. I'm just debating in my head before I write the full review of how far down I'm going to be, and then incurring the wrath of the true Zack Snyder diehards that will,
Oh, God, they're out there.
Yeah, they are. Because trust me, I covered Army of the Dead in my last podcast, and, definitely heard some things because I thought we were pretty fair about that. I don't hate Army of the Dead. I was fine with it, and I actually liked Army of Thieves more, so I'm glad they kind of
Me too.
Kept the universe a little bit. But Rebel Moon, he tried to make... When people said that he was trying to make his version of Star Wars, I didn't realize how much he was just like, yeah, I'm just going to do Star Wars, but I'm going to make it terrible. How's that? Because that's basically what he did. Like, all his influences and winks and nods. If I told you the plot of this movie, Shane, you'd be like, so Star Wars? Or you would be like, Star Wars mixed with like a hint of Dune? Like, I guess, And a lot of people are saying, oh, it's Seven Samurai, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah. That's what Lucas used to make Star Wars. He combined using Seven Samurai and The Hidden Fortress and a lot of like certain Kurosawa influences, and then made Star Wars. And then Zack Snyder's like, cool. I'm going to use the old influences, the new influences, and then make a watered down, pointless version of all your stuff. Is that cool? So, this one comes out on Friday. Well, late Thursday. I think they're actually doing it like an earlier release, like 9 p.m. or whatever they're doing it, so people could watch it Thursday night. But no bueno. And thank goodness that this is part 1 of 2, Shane. A lot of people I like in it too, like Charlie Hunnam and Digimon Hansu. He's in the movie as well. I like him. Corey Stoll is in the movie. there's a lot of like good people in here, and Anthony Hopkins does a voice role, so that's interesting. Carrie Elwes is in it, and it makes like it really stands out of like why the hell is Carrie Elwes here? Mikhail Huisman, Cleopatra Coleman, and the lead, I guess, here is Sophia Boutella.
Yeah, she was in The Kingsman and in the first one. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, I like her. Yep.
But yeah, so she's fine, but I don't think she's a lead. It might also be the material, but it's odd that, you know, this movie, it just, they have so many characters that you forget some of them are there. They have like a pseudo stand-in for Han Solo that they're like, wait, we'll just do a random twist. But they basically do the whole Mos Cantina scene, but like as like kind of like almost like a Western bar, but that's exactly what they were cribbing with Star Wars in general. So again, it just feels like an echo, but it's way too convoluted, and it doesn't fit anything. Like there's no like bumper sticker line of this movie where I could just be like, it's about this and this, you know, something real quick. You can't. But if I just said to you, yeah, it's kind of basically Star Wars. She's there's a rebel crew going up against a larger thing that is basically space Nazis, you know, literally, right. Where I'm like, this is a futuristic movie, but this guy's in a collared shirt and tie and like a military uniform. What are we doing? Like, you're not even trying. At least, like, you know, George Lucas made the stormtroopers, which is exactly what they called the Nazi armies, the stormtroopers. That's where he got it from. And then at least put them in like fun uniforms and real set design and, you know, whatever. This movie felt cheap, even though it probably cost like a shitload of money for Netflix. And I don't get it. But right now, if you want to see how much trouble I'm going to get in, it's got a 6.2 on IMDb, but a 32 Metascore. So you know that number is only going to go up when the Snyder heads start bombing IMDb and being like, this is amazing, and I can't wait for part 2. Okay, you do that, buddy. You do that. So that was my excursion to the city. It was nice sightseeing, but the movie lacked appeal. And then, of course, if anyone's interested, I have my written review for Chicken Run 2, Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget, as it were. It's up there. It's fine. It's okay. It's like if you're watching with your kids or whatever and you like the first one, it'll be fine for you. You know, it won't shake anything. But I just thought it was a little less inventive and a little more action-y and a little more simple this time around. So it didn't, bowl me over. So if you're looking for something to watch with your kids or whatever, go for it. And also Maestro, if you're listening to this, it comes out this Wednesday. If you're listening to this on the day of release. And I've seen the movie twice now, Shane, and I'm willing to say that it is probably the best Netflix movie of the year. Now, I don't know your mileage on Bradley Cooper, or if you're into Leonard Bernstein. I feel like that's probably the lesser thing for you and I, where it's like, yeah, I know the musical West Side Story. I know the basics, but, the life and times of Leonard Bernstein, I'm not up on that. So any of this was brand new. And, Cooper nails it again. He's 2 for 2. A Star is Born was really good as far as his directorial debut. And then Maestro is also very good. A lot of performance-driven stuff. And they keep it very narrow in a sense of like they concentrate on Bernstein's marriage and the relationship cultivated with Carey Mulligan, who plays his wife. And obviously it's an interesting story that blends his marriage, but also the fact that he's also gay and that he carries on these relationships on the side, and plus his professional career and having children and the whole messy arc of their relationship. But it's still just in the end, it's a beautiful, emotionally power-packed movie that really like got to me. I've watched it twice. I teared up at the same spot twice in the same thing. So
oh wow,
the final act will kick your ass. So that comes out, like I said, on Wednesday. My review will be out on Wednesday as well for what's on Netflix.com. So check that out. But Shane, we have 3 other films here for our streaming little 6-pack. First and foremost, before we get to some of the maybe more streaming specific ones, you watched God is a Bullet, which is now on PVOD. And this is a movie that I've been egging you on to watch because literally this is a you movie, even though it's 2.5 hours or close to, which I was just like, okay.
It is.
But
yep.
Tell the people the plot of this movie because you know damn well that this is you to a T, let alone the casting, but the plot. Give it to him.
Okay, so the plot is, I'll read this right from IMDb. Taking matters in his own hands, Detective Bob Hightower tries to infiltrate an evil cult to save his kidnapped daughter and avenge the murder of his wife.
If that is not a Shane plot, I do not know what is. Am I wrong?
Right. You would think so, no. Right? You would think so until I started this movie.
Damn it. God damn it. Don't do this to me.
Yeah, I know. The acting was fine. You got Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, right? Plays Bob Hightower.
Game of Thrones, everybody.
The rest.
Yeah.
Jamie Lannister for people who don't know. Yeah, there you go. Right? You got January Jones. You got Jamie Foxx in here for a little bit. Ethan Suplee, which is good to see. So the cast is fine, right? So again, the setup is Bob plays a paper pusher, police officer in this small town, and I'm assuming California. And then on the night, his wife, again, gets killed by the satanic cult that infiltrates his ex-wife's house, kidnaps the daughter. So knowing the police aren't going to do anything, he teams up with Casey Harden in this movie, who escaped the cult at the beginning of the movie. And she's in rehab, so she agrees to help him track down this apparently traveling nomad of a satanic cult with the help of Jamie Foxx, who plays the ferryman, who helps the cult out as well, but he kind of sends them on their way. So this movie is them tracking down and chasing this evil cult. The way they portray Bob is like he's a pushover. He is a desk jockey, and it kind of shows in this movie. Now, this movie is based on true events of Bob Hightower, right? And as I'm watching this movie clip along, because it's a very slow paced and just a slow movie in general, right? You feel the 2.5 hour runtime in this movie. Like this movie could have been edited down to like an hour and 50 minutes and been fine.
I did have that fear.
Through this movie,
Yeah,
folks, through this movie, they're tracking them down, and the cult's kind of playing cat and mouse games with them. They could have killed both these main characters off like numerous times, but for some reason just left them alive, like just in playing with them, and it kind of caught up with them at the end. The last act of this movie is great. Like if the last 30 minutes was like the first hour and a half, I would have given this movie like a big thumbs up, right? The guy who is in charge of the cult is actor Carl Glusman, plays Cyrus. He was perfect. Like the cult was great, but there wasn't a lot of action, and there's a little plot twist at the end that I won't ruin, is why the cult was at his ex-wife's house in the first place, which made no sense. And at no point did he avenge his wife in this movie. It was about him just trying to find his daughter.
So he just whatever. That was it. She had a good run.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. The plot twist made no sense. And honestly, once he found his daughter, they didn't show really any interaction of them together post-cult rescuing her, which I thought was kind of weird. They turned it into him having an attraction to the Casey who helped him, that whole character dynamic. But she was great. I don't recognize her from anything. Mayaka Monroe, I've never seen her anything, but she was great as Casey.
I know her.
No, she was great as Casey. I loved her in this movie. So them two together was perfect. But dude, it was just too slow of a movie, and I had trouble with it, man. But man, the last half hour, man, was great. Yeah. It was great.
And by the way, just to get back to Mayaka Monroe, I thought you liked It Follows.
Oh, is that where she's from?
And then she also, I forgot whether it was you or Chris who also watched it, but the movie Watcher. It was like a small movie that was like a thriller.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So she was the lead in that too, and I liked her from that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's great in this movie. Like the casting is fantastic, but again, my problem was the pacing. It was just way too slow, and for no reason. To be honest with you, like there was no reason for this movie to be paced out as long as it was. So I was disappointed because what you said at the top, you read this plot and you're like, just give it to Shane.
I got so excited to send it all on to you. I was just like, come on.
But I felt like Peter Griffin because they do say the name of the movie in the movie. So
yes,
they do explain it. So like, there you go. They said the name. They said the name.
Nice.
But no, it was for Jamie Foxx. It was a different weird character that he played, which I think he was just having fun with that type of a nomad. He's been
doing
character.
That lately, just kind of doing pop in cameos, just be a weirdo for a little bit. And I'm here for it, to be honest.
And he was definitely a weirdo. So I would say watch, but proceed with caution because you do feel the 2.5 hours.
So speaking of 2.5, is that where you land? Like 2.5, 3? Where are you?
Yeah, I gave it a 2.5. Cheating, Andrew cheat code, I would give it a 2.75. But because of the length, I gave it a 2.5. I couldn't get it any higher.
I hear you,
man. So I was a little disappointed.
No, I think we should do, Shane. I think we need to get new T-shirts made where it says Andrew cheat code, but it's like the Konami code, like it's like up, up, down, down, but it's really just quarter stars. Like I'm Ed McMahon, yeah, star searching it. But yeah.
But was it worth the $2.99? Yeah, I would say I'm glad I paid $2.99 to see it.
And I
would have been mad if I went to the Yeah, if I paid theater price, I would have been pretty upset that I saw this in the theater.
For sure. Well, thanks for at least now I have the bear of entry for that because I was excited. I've tried to watch it multiple times. I had it on the watch list for a long time, so it's good to know that I could probably put that off until the new year. Or maybe watch it over the holiday break where I have a little bit of free time. So good to know on that one. You also watched The Family Plan, which is the new Mark Wahlberg movie. That's on Apple TV Plus, right?
Correct. Apple TV.
Are you just standing for Apple now? Like you're watching Monarch and you're like, oh God, there's other stuff here. Is that what you're doing?
Well, it was kind of hard to miss this one because I finished Monarch and it's like they're highlighting this movie, obviously. So it's like right there. I wasn't feeling well. I was like, you know what? I got time. It's a harmless movie. Hit play. Let's go. And that's exactly what it was. Yeah. It was fun. You know exactly what you're getting. He plays an assassin on the run who's married and has 3 kids. They don't know his background until it finally catches up to him.
There's so many of those
up in
movies,
Buffalo, New York.
There is. What was the? I'm blanking now. What was the Bob Odenkirk movie? It feels like we're in like a whole
like Mr. Nice Guy or something.
No, what the fuck was the name of that movie? Nobody. That movie that came out a couple years ago. Yeah. I feel like we're in a just a bubble now, where it feels like between Netflix has probably had a few of these in the movie theaters we had, studio movies we've had version of this. It's like they all keep going with the post John Wick, but now doing it more like suburban and funny versions. And this is where you go.
And that's what this was. Yeah, you got Michelle Monaghan playing his wife, who's hot. And she was fine. You get Syrian Hins, who was also in Game of Thrones. But you get Maggie Q, who I like to see on screen. So, he's taking his family from Buffalo and knowing his cover's blown, he's like, let's take a trip to Vegas, surprise trip, because he's the normal guy now and he has routine and, Taco Tuesday and all this kind of stuff. And he's being spontaneous with his wife. And through this whole road trip from Buffalo to Las Vegas, he's trying to invade these assassination attempts on him. But, you know what you're getting with this movie, but it was fun. The cast worked well together. I thought they all had chemistry. You had a couple good laughs. And Mark Wahlberg, say what you want, because I'm hit or miss on him. He can carry action, and he's funny as well. So it's a harmless watch. I think I gave it a 3, to be honest with you, because I've seen worse. Sure. Like, them two together on screen work.
Right.
And the kids in this movie are fine. I like them as well. So I gave it a 3, man. It's a harmless, good, family, fun, orientated movie.
That works too. Maybe I'll put that on the watch list. Maybe once I get yet another cold this winter, that'll be the same route. That should be the bumper sticker. Are you homesick? Watch Mark Wahlberg. There it is. That's That's on the poster right now. Last movie we got for you. I would assume if you watch this, you were also a fan of the series, much like I was. Mr. Monk. Adrian Monk is back in our lives for Mr. Monk's Last Case, a Monk movie, and that is on Peacock streaming right now. What was your relationship to Monk? Did you watch the whole series? Was this a big show for you?
Yeah.
Because again, if you're talking about like shows that you put on, on a lazy Sunday or you're sick and you're doing a marathon of a show. This is one of those shows. This is one of those like I can watch a marathon of and absolutely love. And I just love these characters. And I was psyched for this. So you were the same deal with this one as well?
Yeah, man. I like you said, I loved Monk. This is when USA actually had a lot of series going on at one time. I think this ran concurrently with Psych. Yeah. So like USA was a network people for a little bit. And this was like one of their main anchor shows. And I love Tony Shalhoub, and I love the whole setup. I love his character. So I'm glad they kind of did a movie. We'll talk about it because whether it was good or not is another thing. But we'll get into it.
Monk walked so Psych could run is how I feel about it. I know it's a little obnoxious because I think they're both equally as good. But Psych is one of my favorite all-time shows. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
absolutely. And you seem to be tipping maybe in the other direction. I think this movie is better than the Psych movies that they've already put out. But I'm glad that this exists because, Shalhoub's getting older where I don't think this is something to where he can make one of these every year. I don't think it's that type of character anymore because of where he's at in his life. And I enjoyed what they did with the plot because of considering where he is in this stage of his character's life and his own life. For anybody who doesn't know, it follows Monk, a brilliant detective with an obsessive-compulsive disorder, just like the show that was on for many, many seasons. He returns to solve one last case involving his stepdaughter, Molly, a journalist preparing for her wedding. And she is involved with a journalist as well who was uncovering kind of like a Jeff Bezos character. And
exactly like a Jeff Bezos
100% like a Jeff Bezos and shock, it's on Peacock, not on Amazon Prime, everybody. It would have been anyway because of ties to NBC Universal with the show, but this movie, I enjoyed it, man. Like, I enjoyed it like it was like a long episode of Monk. It does, I said to you this off air, I didn't expect certain aspect to it of how serious it gets and how his mental state is at this point. But I did love that a lot of the people from the original show are back and, in kind of like really funny ways to re-enter. And I liked who played his stepdaughter as well. And I enjoyed that dynamic. Is it perfect? No. Was there going to be anything? No. But I also like the fact that, anytime there's an episode with Monk that had to do with the Trudy case, it always was like a very special episode. And I feel like this just followed in those footsteps, and I was on board. So it sounds like maybe you were less on board, but I'm curious to see what your thoughts were.
No. I'm on board. I was just trying to tease it. But no, I liked seeing the original cast together because they had everybody in this movie. I like James Purefoy as the Jeff Bezos character. I always liked him on screen in the shows and movies. So I really liked it, man. I laughed at the part where Randy reconstructed the Lego bridge and his theory with maybe they put hydraulics on the bridge and he would show it lowering. It was great, man. But like you, I didn't expect the heavy-handedness of his state of mind, which when you go back and look at it, they talk about the COVID where he's in his house for 2 years. So I would get, especially with his OCD, where he would get that way. But man, it was heavy at times. Like, oh man, they're going for some stuff here, and so much. In fact, they put a not a disclaimer, but like a phone number at the end of this show. Or like if you need help, call this number. So I mean, it goes there, but it fits his character. It does with the Trudy stuff and the COVID and his OCD. Yeah. It all is aligned. And like you said, it's an hour and a half. And it flew by, to be honest with you. It went pretty quick. I like the way they ended it. And I'd probably agree with you. I don't remember all the Psych movies. I think there's 3 now. But it is probably better than 2 of the 3 Psych movies.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you consider, quote, a movie. Like, I know they tried to make Psych the musical almost like the first unofficial movie, but I think they have like 2 streaming ones, and they might be working on a third unofficially or whatever.
Okay, third one. Okay. No, but this is a solid entry and a nice closing point with this character, Adrian Monk. So I'm glad I watched it. Like you, it was like, I need something to watch before I go to bed. I'm still not feeling well. You know what? Boom, hour and a half. If you're a fan of the Monk series, this falls right in line with it, man. And you'll get a blast from seeing all the old characters.
Yeah,
together.
And also a very bizarre but fun appearance from Richard Kind, too, when he plays the twins in The Funeral Parlor. I love that, too. So, yeah, it just works, man. It's got a lot of sentimental pieces. The moments with his psychiatrist, I thought, were also very like a blend of like really heavy, but also like just I love this because their relationship has always been touch and go, but the line that Hector Elizondo just puts on him of like what he's doing with him and how much he cares is just that'll get to you.
It's good stuff.
So yeah, I'm with you. It's like a 3.25 if I'm cheating, a 3.5 if you're like a Monk super fan, whatever, and which I kind of am. So maybe I'm pushing it probably past its point, but yeah, this is exactly what you want from a Monk movie at this point in his life. So no complaints. Check that out on Peacock right now if you're a subscriber. Shane, anything else before we get on out of here? I think we kind of covered the gamut. We got what do we got coming up? Some things you're looking forward to, anything?
I am. I'm going to, I'm looking forward to, and I'm going to go see the Iron Claw Thursday. Okay. I am so looking forward to that movie. I'm bursting at the seams to see that movie, but I also going to dovetail that with Aquaman.
Somebody has to do it, Shane.
I don't have the kids this week. I know. I don't have the kids this week. I got time. So I'm going to go like a Thursday, Friday. Right. I also toyed around with the idea of seeing the, what's that romantic comedy with the Glenn Powell?
Yeah, that's this weekend too, right? Anyone But You.
So Aquaman and then Anyone But You. So I'm at least going to see 2 out of the 3, but honestly, I have time to go see 3 out of 3. So
yeah,
I'm going to try to make it happen. But here's my game plan. I'm going to go get Aquaman out of the way. I'm going to go finish that first. Because then I want to leave Iron Claw for the crescendo, the top of the triangle. I don't want to end my viewing with fucking Aquaman. So
yeah, I don't blame you. And obviously we're getting down to the end of the year here, so I'm going to try to catch a lot of the Oscar flicks, including I don't think Iron Claw is going to make it, but like I think American Fiction's out. Poor Things is out. There's a few other ones. I almost the schedule didn't work, but I almost got to see a sneak of Boys in the Boat, which is another movie I want to see that's directed by George Clooney. That's coming out over on Christmas Day. So I think a lot of these, unfortunately for me, are going to be more next week than this week, but because I have a lot of writing to do, unfortunately. So we will see. We got I don't know. We got obviously we'll do our best shows of the year episode like we always do. We got our favorite films of the year episode. And then probably a bunch of pocket reviews for some of these movies that we're going to catch towards the end of the year to try to make sure our list is pure. Right, Shane? We want to have all the best movies that we could catch. And we keep trying to hit a magic number. You and I, we kind of keep batting it around. We keep trying to get to 130. It seems to be the money number that we get to every single year. I don't know if I'm going to hit it. We're a little late in the game, but I think that week of between Christmas and New Year's, I'm going to hammer out a lot. So I might just be a savage and like hit up so many movies that, they'll be like, vacuuming crumbs out of my bed kind of a scenario, just trying to see so many and just be a sloth watching movies. So good job by you, as always. We will get to those movies that we're all going to try to desperately cram in before the end of the year to make sure our top 5 lists are perfection. So thank you for listening. Subscribe, follow us, do the whole thing at Recent Act Pod, and we'll see you next time on Recent Activity.